Welcome, everybody, to another great membership discussion with our membership coordinator, Tim Hoyt. We're joined here today by Tim and past Maryland membership director, Paul Armstrong. So without further ado, I'm going to pass things over to Tim Hoyt.
Well, good morning, everyone. And Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning.
Well, Paul, thank you for joining us today on this podcast about membership and what participation you've had for the state of Maryland. And I've known you for several years, and looking up your history, I noticed that you are now celebrating your 27th year as being a member of this great organization. And in your 27 years, I see that you are a past state Maryland president and a past Mid-Atlantic regional president. So one of the things that jumps out at me first that I want to know from you is, can you recall 27 years ago what it is that prompted you to want to join the Fraternal Order of Eagles?
Well, it's pretty simple, actually, and I do remember it. A bunch of our friends, or my friends, we're all NASCAR race fans, and one person in that group, his name was Jack South. He invited me down to the Eagles to watch a NASCAR race on a big screen TV. Back in '97, that was a pretty big deal, so I was hooked. So I joined so I could watch NASCAR racing on a big screen TV, and the rest of that stuff came later.
Outstanding. So you actually saw something in our organization just by being invited in by a friend that it interests you. And when you came in because of what the area was able to provide you or do for you at that moment, you were able to be exposed to really what it is we do inside the four walls of that area that Jack brought you into.
That's correct. He gave me a tour of the building. They had the social room, of course, and then took me upstairs to the meeting room. And upstairs they had some pool tables set up, and I was like, "Wow, I never knew this was here." And this was in downtown Hagerstown. I joined in Hagerstown, Area 694, back in '97. So I wasn't even aware that the Eagles were in town until I was invited down and got a tour of the place. And like I said, I was hooked once I could watch racing on TV.
Well, that's outstanding because once you got that taste and got to see what it is that we do, you now, in hindsight, 27 years later, can see when we talk about the Eagles being the world's best kept secret. You can see, for one, that you were one of those people that found out we were a secret back then, but you know now that's not what we're trying or striving to be. So
That's correct.
so in all these years that you have served now in the state of Maryland, I've noticed that you have been the state membership chairman on several occasions. And so what is it that's made you want to accept that role and help the state with its membership gains?
Well, one of the things I learned when I served my year as state president is that I'd worked my way up through the state chairs, fundraising, and doing different activities. And then when I got to be state president, I'm like, well, what do I do now? And then I felt that, okay, I'm now a spokesman for the state of Maryland, but I'm also a cheerleader for all the upcoming officers and everything that's going on in the state of Maryland as far as area fundraisers and partnering with the auxiliary at the time. And I brought that same philosophy to membership, that when I got to be membership director, I was like, okay, I'm a cheerleader. What can we do to make people want to sign up members? And I always, I tried a lot of different things as far as award programs. I did cascading drawings, awards, plaques, but basically, I'll be honest with you, the best program that I came up with that the members enjoyed the most was quarterly monetary awards, and then an annual award for top producers and everything like that at our state convention. But that's what I tried to bring as membership.
So, so having served, so when you did your path to become the state area president, did you have several years where you went through different chairs to get to the top chair?
I did. I started out as district secretary, and due to some resignations and sadly some deaths over the years, I moved up. It took me about 8 or 9 years to go from that initial entry level position to becoming and getting installed as the state president. I pretty much served all of our sitting chairs. I think trustee, outside guard, inside guard, conductor, chaplain, vice president, and so forth. And I have to admit, I was very, very proud to be installed as the Maryland State Area President.
So, because you went through those different chairs, that gave you an opportunity to look at maybe what weaknesses there might have been regarding recruiting new members. And when you got to see how membership was going from the different chairs that you sat in during those years, what steps have you helped create to try and fix that to where it made it easier to recruit people?
Well, again, I had some good people in front of me. Rob Phillips, who was a past state president and past regional president and one of the co-founders of the Mason-Dixon Conference. He was, I guess you could say, one of my mentors, where I always said he made membership and fundraising look easy. He was very successful what he did. So I always kind of like looked up to him, and I can't say I saw a lot of shortcomings in membership. What might work at one place isn't going to work at another. That's one of the things I found, and it all depends on your circumstance. I can say here locally in Brunswick, we were a relatively small town, but it's growing now. And with those developments become a lot of new people. One of the developments actually backs up right to our property, and we have one of our newer members come over wanting to know what all the excitement was about. And now he joined, and now he's one of our officers as our area treasurer. So I guess it's the timing of what is available to you when the people come through your door. We here again locally, we host a lot of events, and it's been very successful with getting new people in. People start talking. We have the word of mouth, and it's just, it kind of snowballs from that. We've grown a good deal here recently because of the influx of new people into our community.
Well, was there anything surprising or unexpected that you learned while serving as membership chairman any of the years that you served?
I can't say, again, what I found was not everything will work everywhere. What might work here in Brunswick might not work in Cresaptown. What might work in Cresaptown might not work in Frederick. The location of the areas, where some of our locations in downtown locations, like I said, when Hagerstown was active, I didn't even know they existed. I've driven past their location many times and had no idea what was behind the door. So, I guess that's kind of a problem with the in-city areas, as opposed to those that maybe have facility like we do on the outskirts of a town, or have some property around us that give us room for growth and to offer like different things going on. Like we can have outdoor events if we choose to. So I can't say there was anything really unexpected. It was just being able to be flexible to try to look at what each area was facing, and then try to accommodate, as best I could, ideas or assistance to whoever was there trying to get members in the door.
Well, nice. Now, earlier this year, I traveled to Maryland to help with your membership drive at the Western Maryland Health Systems Foundation golf course event, Classic. What inspired Maryland to serve as the master sponsor for that event?
First, I want to make it clear that we actually did not spend any money on sponsorship. Basically, what that was recognition by the Western Maryland hospital system that the Cresaptown area up in Western Maryland, and also when Cumberland was active and Frostburg, Maryland was active, they had supported the different departments within there. We had an opportunity to take a tour of the facility prior to that golf tournament, and there were many plaques recognizing the Cresaptown area, or the auxiliary, or even now the Eagle Riders group. Frostburg was recognized. I think Cumberland was recognized. And I think one of the things that was mentioned in there, I think the total donations from the Eagles has topped $1 million. Over the years. I think I heard that. And if I'm wrong, I apologize for that. But I know it was a tremendous amount of money. So it was more of the hospital's way to recognize our partnership with them. and to make us, this was past state Madam Presidents Kathy Cecil's charity, was Schwab or Family Cancer Center. And that she had a great year. I think the amount that she had was over $32,000 or $33,000. So they just recognized our association with them over the years. So I don't want anybody to think that we actually put the money forward to sponsor this golf tournament. And the golf tournament itself was a charity event. So but it was fun to be recognized and to participate in that. And again, I thank you so much, you, Tim, for coming and helping out, because you did a fantastic job.
Yeah, Paul, and I think I recall from attending that event that the hospital system acknowledged the top donors for the contributions to their foundations. And I think that's where I came up with the thing that Maryland was the top sponsor or donator. So
And
I
that
guess
is
we can
correct.
interchange sponsor and donator, interchange with each other, because Maryland was the top donating facility or facilitator, because like you said, they did over $32,000 that the state of Maryland, and I guess it was mostly through the auxiliary, right, with assistance with the ARI.
Well, obviously we worked together, but it was the state Madam President's project for the year, and we all participate in the fundraisers and have a good time. And it was a lot of fun to work with the auxiliary, the state auxiliary members, and when I was very surprised when after our convention, when Kathy approached me and wanted to know if I would be her brand ambassador for that event, and I was honored that she asked me to do that. And then I immediately recognized the membership potential. So that's why I reached out to you, and I wanted to make sure that we put our best foot forward so that we took advantage of a membership opportunity.
Well, I know it's too early to maybe tell, but have you seen any membership impacted as far as growth goes because of that event? Because it's only been 2 months since it's happened, and it really hasn't been a long time for us to gauge that. But has Crescent Town gotten back to you, or have you looked at any numbers to see if they've gotten any interest in growth yet?
I did reach out to Bruce Foote, who's the secretary. He's also a state secretary, and he's a local secretary at Crescent Town. And sadly, they haven't had any applications be submitted, nor any of the invite cards have been used yet. I think our numbers, we talked with, or you talked with, approximately 144 golfers that day. And then 2 of those 4-man teams were already Eagle members. And there was one team that really wasn't too interested in finding out about the Eagles. But then all the rest of them, we handed out application packs for the ARI, for the auxiliary, the Eagle brochures, the ones for the Memorial Foundation and Those Who Serve program. All of that was given to each one of the golfers that came by. And so we still had an impact, I'd say, of probably over 130 people. So we're still looking. Bruce has said that he has a call list that was generated because they did offer a 1 year's dues, or for a new member, or I think a 1 year's dues for an existing member if they signed up. So I think Bruce said that they have a very lengthy call list now that he wants to follow up on. But unfortunately, that we haven't seen the response right away yet. But we're still got our fingers crossed.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that Bruce had alerted me to that morning at the tent setup that we had there on hole number 11, was every golfer that came through, whether they were a member or non-member, male and female included, he had them sign up a slip of paper with their name and phone number on it. So the females were put in an auxiliary box, the males were put in an ARI box. And then after the event, Crescent Town was going to go back and poll one winner out of each box. And like you said, those winners were going to receive 1 year free membership. So whether it was a new person, they were going to get their application fees waived and 1 year of service. And if it was a re-enrollee or a current member, they would get another year of service. And I think that, and what happened is the phone numbers they had left over for the non-winners, Bruce's wife was going to put out a spreadsheet. So he I think they said about 90 days down the road, they were going to begin contacting those phone numbers of the non-winners and then hit them back up about saying, hey, you showed some interest in wanting to join. Can we get you back in to give us a second look? So
That is correct.
I think that was a very good marketing technique for you guys to have come up with that day of that tournament. So that's one of the things I think I found effective during that event. Is there anything else you thought went good, or is there anything you can give us a suggestion to anybody out there listening to us today that might want to try and do an event like this? What kind of advice would you have for them?
Definitely try it. I'm always a firm believer. When I was in fundraising, I always had the philosophy: if I made $1 more than I had before I walked in, then it was a successful fundraiser. So I look at membership the same way. Try it. If you get one member, then it's successful. You've had a successful membership campaign. It's great if we can get to 10, 20 or more, but it's sometimes it's that one member, and that one member opens the door to their friends, and there's where we make the connection, and I think allows us to bring more people in. So
That's absolutely
my recommendation is, no matter what you think of, go for it.
So what would you say to a member today who is on the fence about serving as their local or state membership chairman? What would you say to that person?
Again, I'd have to say accept the challenge and do what you can. Sometimes we may not have thought of what you're going to come up with for a membership campaign. You might have that one idea that brings that single person in, or a group of people in, and you don't know until you try. So if the opportunity is given to somebody who they want to be the local membership person, or even at the state level, accept it, go for it, and do your best. You'll learn more. You'll learn more as long as you give it an opportunity.
Yeah, and then one of the things that I think that you found to be a fact during just this one event is that the marketing department with Zach and his team, along with the membership department, my team, we are there to help support everything it is that anybody wants to do as far as it goes with marketing the Fraternal Order of Eagles or doing the membership recruiting. And I think you found that to be very true in your event.
Oh, absolutely. Reaching out to you and like I said, I wanted to have the best there that day, and you were able to be there, and we were able to talk a little bit when we saw each other down at the National Convention in New Orleans. We made arrangements to pick up the information as far as the brochures and applications and things that we would be able to hand out. Plus, we had use of the FOE canopy. That was a big hit. I think it identified us to the local people that we had there. So, the support that we got from you and Zach in the membership department, in that respect, it was fantastic. I don't think we could have asked for anything better.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you today for giving some of your time to help share with others the success that you had and went through, and the knowledge of the 27 years that you have that you can provide to people that might be new or might be on the fence about how they can help push their local membership or their state membership forward. In closing, have you got anything else you would like to add today, Paul?
No, not really. I just, thanks for inviting me to do this. I really appreciate it. And I just encourage everyone, just get involved. You'll be surprised at what you can accomplish if you just get involved.
Outstanding, Paul. Well, Paul, again, on behalf of Zach, our marketing and membership director, and myself here in membership, we want to thank you for what you do for the Fraternal Order of Eagles. I look forward to seeing you down the Eagle Trail somewhere, and I'm definitely proud to call you my brother. Thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you, Zach. I appreciate all your help.
Have a great weekend coming up.
All right. Thank you very much. You too.
You're welcome, sir. Bye-bye.